Hello, hello. It is Mike on the mic. We're back. We are back after a rough loss, a rough one. First loss in a minute, first loss in a while. Ain't used to this. Everybody had this as a dub too. I knew this was gonna be a tough game. The Broncos were playing well. Russell Wilson is no joke, even with his struggles. Since the Broncos got him, you still got to play Russell Wilson. um, Sean Payton, man, the coaching's been good. I knew it was going to be a rough outing. I definitely thought we should win the game. I did not have us losing the game, but it wasn't a guaranteed win to me. So I'm not even upset with the loss. I'm not shocked with the loss. None of that. What I am is it's the way we lost, man. I'm absolutely not. I can't even say I'm shocked with the way we lost, because that's the way Kevin Stefanski is. That entire game was a perfect example again of why I'm not a fan of Stefanski in the long run. Stefanski's fine for what we're doing right now. He's fine for, okay, we just trying to make the playoffs. We just trying to make a little noise. We're not winning the Super Bowl. Once again, we lost Deshaun Watson. I don't have us winning the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco, I don't see him taking us to the Super Bowl again. I hope I'm wrong. I'm about to be cheering for the rest of the season. That's my hopes. But reality is, you got to look at it from a different angle and say, it doesn't really look like we're stacking up as Super Bowl contenders. Great defense and all that, but it's not looking like it. Especially when you got a coach that cannot do the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things, people. Run the ball. The obvious things. No one's asking you to be a scholar or be creative. Do what is right in front of you. Make the obvious choice. You have the answer sheet. You're taking a test. I gave you the answer sheet. You choosing to just not use it and you want to try to solve the problems in a different way, you do your thing. But there's an easier way to do this. We should have run the ball out of the gate. There should have been no, I'm trying to get DTR in rhythm. There should have been no, I'm trying to get him some confidence. This is not the game for that. This was not the game, Mr. Stefanski. You did not have to get anybody in rhythm. The best way to get him in rhythm was to get the offense going. Was to just control the clock, control the game. That's all you needed to do. When the score was 0-0, you should have came out there and run the ball more than you passed. That didn't happen. Instead, you want to, what happened? 20 passes in the first half to 14 runs in the first half. It's only a 6-play difference. Don't really seem like that much, but that is massive. That can't happen. You got a rookie quarterback. You're going against the 32nd ranked defense. Even though the Miami Dolphins numbers skewed that Miami defense a little bit because they got crushed, and it did put the numbers out of whack. But trust and believe, they're still not a good run defense, and you saw that. I mean, we saw it all game. That's the issue I have. It didn't take anybody to be some smart football guy. You didn't have to dissect anything. The answer was in front of you. Run the ball. Jerome Ford is running the ball well when you do give it to him. Run the ball. You have a rookie quarterback. Run the ball. You're going against the worst rushing defense in the NFL. Run the ball. You're on the road. Run the ball. Like what? There's nothing that should have told him I need to pass other than if you're just trying to outsmart everybody when it's not necessary. The only reason he decided to pass is because everybody's thinking we gonna run. The obvious answer is to run. Let's go against the grain and catch them off guard. For what, man? For why? It didn't work out. Now we're down 14-0 before you know it. Now it's, oh crap, this ain't working, man. We'll get blown out. 0 to 40 if I keep doing this. I need to run the ball. Which was, I'm sure his thought process was, I can run the ball whenever I want to. I know we can run the ball. So now you want to run the ball, but it's 14 to 0. Now you having a rookie quarterback is really in the play because now he need to make some big plays. Not you want him to make some big plays. It's different. Now you put him in a position where he needs to make these big plays if we plan on winning. Now you can't just run the ball because now clock's working against us. And when you run the ball and control the clock, that means you're burning clock. And when you're 14-0, Stefanski, man, these are the things I'm talking about. And notice, I ain't talked about none of the drops and none of that. I'm going to get to that. It's all connected. It's little things, Stefanski. Stuff that does not take a great coach. That's where I need Stefanski to be better. He always trying to make everything into an experiment, some type of great equation. Dude, sometimes it's just 2 plus 2. Sometimes it's just 1 plus 1. That's it. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't. So the little things Stefanski doesn't do well. My biggest knock, the obvious things, the stuff that no one, if you talk about it, the little things. I'm talking about things, just the stuff where no one is surprised when you do it. If he would have come out there and run the ball, nobody would have been like, "Whoo, that's shocking." No, everybody's expecting you to do it. That's the little things I need you to do, man. Quit trying to make it crazy because we have the talent. You got to make it crazy when you don't have anything. That's when you start getting gimmicky because now you have to create stuff because you know you don't have the right ingredients. So now you just got to start throwing stuff together, hoping it works. We're not like that. Even with the injuries, man, we have enough talent to line up and just freaking play football. Little things, Stefanski. What's one of the biggest cliches in the NFL? A team is going to take the personality of their coach. The way the coach is the way the team is going to be. Bro, catching the ball. Catching the football. Little things. And notice, all this is about to be on the offensive side of the football. The defense didn't play great yesterday. And there's reasons behind that. And trust me, they ain't off the hook. But they did not play great. But they do the little things 9 times out of 10. The only thing you can say with them is just little penalties. But I'll take that because they're aggressive. I'll take those penalties. They're being aggressive. That's going to happen. It's inevitable. But to get back to the offensive side of the ball, little things just piling up, man. And who's in control of the offense? He's in control of the whole team, but we know he don't sniff the defense. He don't touch the defense. He don't be in their meetings. That is Jim Schwartz. What you see on the defensive side of the ball is credited to Jim Schwartz. The only credit Kevin Stefanski gets is the fact that you allowed Jim Schwartz to come in. That's all. That you come in and run the defense and you take a step back and let him handle it. That's the only credit you get, is that you're not micromanaging him. So good job on that side of the ball for letting him do his thing, because he's killing it over there and coaching and leading. On this offensive side of the ball, dropped passes, little things. And it's not just David Njoku. That's what it used to be in the past. Man, Njoku last game. Njoku, man, he always got catching problems. Where these catching problems come from? Now, the DCR thing is real, man. That guy does throw hard. He has no touch on his passes. It is no coincidence that when PJ Walker and Deshaun Watson, 2 guys who don't have rocket arms, were in there, and Njoku was catching pretty much everything. PJ Walker comes in, who's got a rocket arm, y'all. I told y'all, him and Josh Allen were tied for the fastest throw in the NFL Combine since they started recording in, I believe, 2014 or something, I think it was. Fastest. He does not have touch on his passes, man. He's got to learn that. But that's not an excuse. You're still a professional. Again, the expectation is that you catch it. That's the expectation. That translates to the little things. If it's just an expectation, a given, that's a little thing. I need you to do it. It hit your hands. I don't care if it's coming out of a jug machine, Brett Favre hands, Josh Allen's hands. I need you to catch the ball because that's what you're paid. That's the basic of what you're paid to do. You're a tight end. I need you to block, catch. That's it. Block, catch. Catch the ball. Why? But again, it's not just Njoku. Amari Cooper dropping passes now. You never see that. I've seen him drop a couple passes. Like, it wasn't just yesterday. It's just, you let it go because, man, it's Amari Cooper. Whatever. He catch everything else. Elijah Moore dropping pass. All the receivers dropping passes other than Tillman, which I loved. He's one of the few highlights. I like that kid, man. I like him. He's big, fast. He plays big and fast, which is key because there's a lot of big, fast guys who just play small. They don't want to play physical. Tillman played big and fast. I like him. He was a highlight for us, a rare highlight. But on to the rest of the receivers, a lot of these guys, man, they just dropping the ball. Little things. Taking on the identity of their coach. Fumbles. Little things, man. It's little things. You're a running back, man. I need you to carry the ball. Carry the ball. Don't fumble it. I need you to hang on to the ball. Hang on to the rock. That's the key. You could rush for 5,000 yards in a season. But if every time you get to the goal line, you fumble and we don't never get a touchdown, I don't care. It does nothing for me. Your bare minimum job, the little things, hang on to the ball. These guys are starting to not do the little things. Kevin Stefanski don't do the little things, the obvious things, the givens. He keep on trying to excel and trying to impress people and let me draw up something. Bro, I don't care about none of that. The answer in front of you. What's 3 plus 2? Equals 5. That's the answer. You got the answer sheet. You keep trying to solve the problem. Now, you should be able to solve the problem without the answer sheet because it's real simple. Run the ball. But you can't do that. It kills me with him, man. This is what kills me. He is not a bad head coach. I want to reiterate that so many times. All this built up tension I have towards him and his coaching and why I say he's not the coach for the future is because I want to win a Super Bowl. And he's not that level of coach to me unless he just progresses to that. He could grow to that, but I don't have time I don't know how long that growth is going to take. It might take 5 years. It might take 30 more losses before he figures it out. We don't have time for that. Nick Chubb, Deshaun Watson, all these guys will be past their prime and all that. This window don't last forever, y'all. It does not last forever. Every single year, the clock is ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock. It's ticking, man. Don't last forever. It does not. And Stefanski just, he does not do the things required to just win the game. He trying to win the game in a special way. He want to make it real special. I don't care about all that. Keep all that extra stuff. I just want to win, man. And the road to a win was real easy. The road to the win was not getting DTR in rhythm early. The road to the win was not getting all these explosive trick plays and tosses, reverses. The road to the win was just line up and run the ball because they stink at defending the run, and our bread and butter is running the ball. It's crazy. It's craziness. It's craziness. So not only did you not do the obvious thing of running the ball, but your answer to not running it was, when I do run it, instead of giving it to Ford, who's averaging 7.2 yards a carry in the first half and all, let me start just doing reverses. And when I'm going to run it, I'm going to do something real fancy. Once again, why? Why? For what? For what reason? For what reason? It's not necessary, Stefanski. Truly. It isn't, man. Like, why do you have to complicate everything? Why can't we just line up and play football and be better than the other team? Because I got news for y'all. If y'all don't already know this, most these teams we're playing, pound for pound, you line up and look, just have our offensive tackle line, look across whoever's gonna be pass rushing, our wide receiver look across whoever gonna be covering. You know what I mean? You got it. We should be able to line up and beat most teams. Most teams are not built to just stop a ground and pound run anymore. This is a passing league. These teams are built to stop the pass. Most teams are finesse. And when you keep punching somebody in the mouth, even if you're not getting the yardage you want, that's 5 yards of carry and all that, you're wearing teams down, man. As opposed to just keep trying to drop back and throw the ball downfield when it's not there, dude. It's not there. It's not there, Stefanski. Like, I try it all you want to. I don't. That's fine. If you want to come out and sprinkle in your first genius, evil genius idea every game at the beginning of the game, sprinkle your stuff in. But if it's not working, bro, move on. Why do we have to keep on banging our head against the wall till now we're bleeding? Now we want to be like, all right, let's stop doing that. It shouldn't take that long, man. 14-0, we down. Took you the whole first half to realize, like, maybe we shouldn't be. Come on, man. Sean Payton, the decorated head coach over on the other sideline, got Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. A lot of people would say, based on our receivers, they back better receivers. This guy over there just running the ball. He's not doing nothing special. If you were to just think about it, man, you would probably think Russell Wilson has some brilliant, great game. The dude had like 100. Let me see. Dude had like 160 passing yards. 134 passing yards. 22 passing attempts. Dorian Thompson-Robinson had 134 passing yards, 29 passing attempts, and didn't even play the whole game. That's our rookie quarterback. It don't make sense, man. These other, what most people would deem good coaches, great coaches, whatever tier you want to put Sean Payton in, these other guys just doing the obvious thing. I'm not going to come in here, and we got the number 1 defense in the NFL. He just went out there and was like, man, they can't stop the run. I'll just keep running. I don't care that I got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, we about to add to your legacy and get just another dub. Let's run the ball. It's not rocket science. It's not Josh Dobbs, man. We don't need Josh Dobbs' brain. I sure wish we had him as a quarterback still, though. I wish we had him as a quarterback, but we don't need a rocket scientist like Josh Dobbs to come figure this out. It's simple, man. It's so simple. So simple. Defensively, let me wrap up with Stefanski. I'm hoping that y'all starting to see why I'm not a Stefanski fan. It's not because he's not a good coach. The guy's a good coach. The guy's a coach that, man, they play hard for him. They do. They play hard for him. He can take a team to the playoffs and all that. He's a winning coach, meaning that I believe whenever he retire out the NFL and decide he want to hang it up as a coach, I think he'll have a winning record. The dude's not a bad coach. But for this team, if Super Bowl is our goal, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna cut it for us. His decision making is bad, especially in key moments. He picks the worst time. Why would you, after DTR just got hurt, just got his lip all busted up, he just got knocked out in the first round. We on the road, crowd yelling, screaming, woo, all of that. You put PJ Walker in, knowing that the offense, all the other guys on offense is now, oh my goodness, man. Shoot. We were just rolling. Now this guy's knocked out. They human. So that's gonna affect them. They like, PJ Walker. All right, here we go. Let's go. And then you also decide with the new quarterback you putting in to put in Pierre Strong, who hasn't touched the ball all day. And then you want to line up Elijah Moore in your little super little running back role little thing. And you want to run a double reverse in that moment. That doesn't make sense, y'all. And anybody out here who's making the excuse of, well, that's not his fault. That's their job to hang on to the ball. That's an easy play. He should be able to just hand it off and hand it off again and easy. Bro, get with reality. Get with reality. These are human beings. When you are in a leadership role as a head coach, supervisor, GM, whatever it is, parent, whatever it is, it's called risk assessment. Risk assessment. You don't just do stuff without assessing what the risk is. When you leave and you when you got plugs all over the outlets, when you got a little baby and you got the plastic on the sharp corners, it's not because you like, I'm just gonna let my child do whatever they want to. I'm not gonna watch my child. That's not why you do it. You do it for those instances where I'm not watching them in that moment. I had a lapse in focus and they over there and I thought they were over here. Glad I got that covered up on that outlet. I didn't have to worry about it. Risk assessment, man. Meaning that you don't just realize that Pierre Strong ain't touched the ball all game. Adrenaline is pumping. All the momentum's no momentum is on our side now. You asking two guys who's not used to pitching to each other to pitch to each other. You got a new quarterback. Like, all these red flags should be popping up in your head, Stefanski, to where you should be. That's not worth it right now. Like, it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk. Yeah, this is a routine play. Yeah, they should just be able to hand right off to each other. Yes. But what if? What if I'm not watching at that moment and they go touch that outlet? What if I'm going to go buy the plugs because it's not worth the risk? It's crazy, man. That's on his head. Don't make no excuse for Kevin Stefanski talking about that's not his fault. Yeah, that's not his fault that they fumbled. But that is a risk that he was willing to take, and it wasn't worth it. That was a decision he made. He weighed the pros and cons, and he said, I like that. It didn't make sense, man. Just hand the ball off. Now, if it was just a handoff to Jerome Ford and Jerome Ford fumbled the ball, hey, now bro, I'm not going to get on Stefanski for that. PJ Walker is the quarterback. You got to go in there. You got to hand the ball off. If they fumble the exchange, that's on them. I need you to get on them and coach them to be better. If it continues to happen, then it's on you, but that's not on you. But double, triple reverse risk assessment, man. Like, what are you? Come on, bro. It's not that serious, man. We don't have to put on some Harlem Globe. Even on a broadcast, they talking about Harlem Globetrotters. Why are you doing it? Week after week after week, We got the broadcaster sitting in the booth like, what are you? Why is Harrison Bryant under center? Stuff where it's just not necessary, but to Stefanski, it's worth it. We got all these quarterbacks on the roster now, and you can't put one of them on the center for a quarterback sneak. It just doesn't make sense, Stefanski, and that's why I'm not a fan. It's not because I don't think he can get us to the playoffs this year. It's not because I think he's going to build up a losing streak and we just going to go down the hill for the rest of the season. It's for long term, man. It's for long term. It's for the future. I'm not trying to next year be talking about the same thing we talk about every year with multiple games where it's like the victory was right there. Stefanski run the ball and he just, or the victory was right here. Stefanski do X, Y, Z, and he just goes off the rails, does whatever he wants, goes against the grain every single year. That's him. Like y'all keep that. That is him. Gotta go. No time. Collect your paycheck for the rest of the season, man. After this, I'm looking elsewhere because I don't see you leading us to where I want to go. Excuse me. I don't see it. It's just like in business, man. You start off a business with your friends, and the goal of the business is, man, let's start our own business. That's an accomplishment right there. Let's start our own businesses, make profit. Now y'all start your own business, y'all make profit, everything's going well. Like everything's good. But a couple people would have started the business like, man, I got more aspirations in this. I want to be Fortune 500 company. Like, yeah, we killing it. We supporting our families, but I want more. Sometimes you got to look around and say, I want more, but y'all are my boys and all that. But we got to start firing and getting some of these people who were original and loyal to us in the beginning. Some of them, they're not here to take us to the next level. They're great employees, all that. But it's business. If you can't take us to the next level, you gotta go. You got to go. It's not personal. It's not personal. Stefanski, my mansky, you got to go. Defense side of the ball. Man, I told y'all for weeks. That's our MO. I told y'all for weeks what our defense is. They are aggressive, 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 aggressive. And when you are like that, if you go against a team that has a scrambling quarterback, because when you go against scrambling quarterbacks, these guys that are pass rush, which even if it's not a pass, let's say the offense running the ball, scrambling, doing a quarterback run. When you do the way our pass rush is, which is just come up the field, they're not reading anything like that. This is not our defense. When that ball is snapped, Jim Schwartz is telling these guys, do your positional job. So defensive line, get upfield and get pressure on the quarterback, the running back, the fullback, whoever getting the ball or doing anything in the backfield, sabotage it. Cornerbacks, just lock y'all receivers up. We play a lot of man, and I love it. I want to say this. I love our defense. I love our defense. I love the aggressiveness of it. I love it. Because the opposite is what we saw last year for years, Joe Woods and all that, where it's just, all right, we're just going to let them let them march downfield. But once we get in the red zone, we got to buckle up, y'all. But we going to play real passive and real safe. I'm not a fan of that, man. I like chaos. I like to make the offense just in shambles. And that's what this Shorts defense does. But it does comes with what is cons and negatives. He's asking the receivers and the DBs, man, just lock up and cover. Linebackers, they really just reacting. When you see a hole, if you see a running back coming through a hole, hit him. You think you see a screen pass, go do it. All that is fine and good, and it's gonna make big plays. And it's going when you got the talent, man, you gonna see we killing it. We crushing a lot of teams because you can't consistently make the right play. It's hard to consistently make the right play against a defense that's just nonstop. Because we got the talent. You getting pass rush. Your DBs are covering. Your linebackers, even though our linebackers can be better, we can't have everything. For the most part, man, they fly around the field. JOK is having a great season. But with that, when you get a scrambling quarterback, if your aggressiveness is wrong and we rush through the hole, we might rush right past the quarterback. Now he's kind of step up in the pocket. Now the pass rusher's behind him. He ain't got nothing but green grass in front of him. Now he can either run or he can either just sit there and wait for one of his receivers to get open, because you can't cover all day. That man to man is cool when you get a pass rush and the quarterback got to hurry up and throw it, but now they blanket it because I'm just following the receiver. That's all good. Then you force people into mistakes. But when that pass rush doesn't hit immediately, or you're not getting that pass rush, and now quarterback can just sit back there and wait for a receiver to get open, you can't cover guys all day. It's impossible. And that's all the Broncos did. When there was a run, they did a lot of counters, a lot of misdirections, a lot of draws, a lot of wait for our defensive line to get upfield, and then they handed it off. And you saw, excuse me, on the plays where we stopped them, man, we stopped them. We stopped them. We stuffed them right in the hole. They lost yardage, couldn't do anything. But that's when the aggressiveness is right, and we're in the right gap. We read the right gap. We thought what we saw, and it was right. It was right. But on the plays where it's wrong, that's where that aggressiveness bites you. And what should only be a 5-yard run turns into 15 yards, 30 yards. What should be or could have been just a quarterback, just sitting in the pocket and having to throw it away, because even though our pass rush didn't get there, he didn't have any receivers. They were all covered. Throw the ball away. Now instead of that, it's our pass rush then came. So now he ain't got to throw the ball away. He just got to step up, scramble, do whatever he got to do to buy him some more time, and he's just gonna wait for a receiver to get open. It's the pros and cons. Yesterday, man, our defense didn't look great, but yesterday, our key to the defense was not right. Miles, I don't even know why he played that entire game. I really don't. Again, that's on the head coach to me, because even though, like I said earlier, I'm sure Stefanski just leaves the defense alone, let Shorts figure out his own thing. If I'm the head coach, I'm still coming out and saying, listen, man, Miles is out here playing with one arm. I let this game get away from us. It's not looking good. We're not about to keep having him out here as a decoy or trying to play his heart out with one arm. None of that. They're like, it's not worth the risk. No. He'll sit the rest of the game. Why was he even out there still playing? That's stupid. I get it. I love that Miles still wanted to play. That's good on Miles. I mean, I'm not knocking Miles. He's supposed to go out there and want to play, man. Sometimes you got to save these guys from themselves. Sometimes, again, you got to look for the future. Kevin Stefanski always on this. Oh, we're just looking at this week. Well, bro, you got to play again next week, and I would like to have Myles Garrett. I would like to have him as healthy as possible, not just wasting his reps. When he's only 40%. Like So once his pass rush was eliminated, man, our entire defense we couldn't get a pass rush. Russell Wilson was just running around back there doing whatever he wanted. It's hard to win in Denver too, y'all. Even though I'm saying all this on Stefanski and a drop pat, it's hard to win in Denver. It's hard, especially considering Russell Wilson is just now finding his feet, and him and Sean Payton are killing it. On top of that, the defense is also killing it, kind of figuratively, and because these guys, man, y'all know Sean Payton was a part of that New Orleans Saints, the bounty hunt, all that bounty gate, where a bunch of guys got suspended, fines, and all that. Greg Williams, who was our defensive coordinator and interim head coach for a while, he was on that staff. He was a part of that staff that got in trouble with the defense, targeting people and headhunting guys and all that. I'm not saying that they headhunting, but I'm saying it looked like they headhunting. That the reason they starting safety, number 6, the guy yesterday who just kept getting penalties, he's the one that took Amari Cooper out the game. That guy was in the game because the other starting safety is suspended for too many illegal hits. Like, and it was, And that wasn't even an illegal hit by number 6. I can't remember his name, but that was not an illegal hit. That was perfectly legal what he did to Amari Cooper. I mean, I'm not mad at the penalty. I mean, but that was not a penalty. I just want to say that. The other one on Njoku was okay. I could see that one, but that other one wasn't a penalty. The one on Dorian Thompson Robinson. Now that was a that he got clocked. I'm not saying that was a dirty hit, but that was definitely a hit where he wanted to lay a little. He wanted to let him know that he wanted to let him know that was one of them hits. So I'm not saying it was dirty because to me, dirty means I'm trying to injure you. I'm trying to do something that I know is illegal, and I'm just going to try to get away with it. I don't think he was trying to hurt him. I don't think he was trying to do anything illegal. I think he was being competitive and saying, man, you about to take this hit. That's my opinion. But, man, Browns will be all right. Trust and believe. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. I got us winning against the Rams, man. Matthew Stafford going to be running for his life, but Stefanski's just not the guy for the future. So I still got us going to the playoffs. Got to start Joe Flacco. Yes. He's 6'6", man. PJ Walker's not the answer. I don't think DTR going to play. DTR is healthy. I'm starting DTR. But this is a perfect opportunity to get Joe Flacco in there. You got DTR out. That's a perfect excuse. I'm not a huge Joe Flacco fan. Like, I'm not saying Super Bowl, but he's better than PJ Walker. PJ Walker got to go. But I love y'all, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe. It's been Mike on the mic. Peace.